Let me ask you something. How many of your decisions start with this thought? What if this goes wrong? Not in a dramatic way, in a quiet, everyday way. What if I make the wrong call? What if I disappoint someone? What if I lose stability? What if I end up regretting this? These thoughts often sit in the background, and they shape how bold we really move, how honest we live, how much of ourselves we show out there, how much we trust ourselves. Today, I want to offer a different question, one that shifts how you approach your life. Welcome to Who I Am, your guided meditation podcast for a strong mind, balance, and yes, bold moves, my friend. My name is Jackie, and the question that I want to raise for you today instead is, what if I couldn't fail? As I said before, most people think fear only shows up in the big moments. Career changes, relationships, the big decisions. In reality, fear shapes the ordinary day. It decides whether you speak up in a meeting, whether you rest when your body asks for it, whether you ask for support, whether you go after what you want or stay reasonable. Living with what if I fail creates a careful life. A life that looks fine from the outside, but it's a life that feels tight on the inside. And do you want to know something that no one speaks about? It starts with our parents telling us when we're young, be careful, be careful, please be careful. They ask us to be careful because they worry about us. But deep down, it tells us that the life out there is dangerous, that we could harm ourselves in any given moment when we play, when we are in flow state, when we don't think about the things that can happen, but we think about the joy and the fun that we can have in the moment that we're not overly conscious, but just enjoying ourselves. And yes, obviously, there is a fine line of a parent being worried and a parent focusing on giving space to just being in the moment. So from grown up to grown up, today we're going to change this pattern. So imagine you wake up and you move through your day with a different inner voice. The one that asks, what if I couldn't fail? How would you show up at work? How would you treat your time? How would you talk to yourself? This question doesn't remove all the effort. It removes your self-doubt from the driver's seat onto the passenger seat so it can make space for you to trust in your own ability again, trust in your worth, in your capacity, in your magic. Let's pause together for a moment. Sit comfortably. Let your feet touch the earth. Let your hands rest on your belly. Take an inhalation. Let it fill up your belly so you can feel your hands rising there. And then release it out through the nose. One more time. Inhale into your hands, into your belly. Exhale out slowly through the nose. Now bring to mind something that you want. It has to be real. Something that you really, truly want. A step you have been circling around. Notice what happens in your body. Where do you feel tension based on the fact that you haven't moved any further toward it yet? Where do you feel energy? Scan through your body while you keep on breathing deeply. And really feel into any kind of blockage that you feel in your body. And then begin to introduce the question, what if I couldn't fail? What if I couldn't fail here? It's not a promise. It's just a new perspective. And then let your body respond to that. What if I couldn't fail? What if I couldn't fail? Notice if you feel something softening. Notice if you feel expansion. Maybe sense of relief. Stay with that. Keep asking over and over. Consciously repeat that question in your head or out loud even. What if I couldn't fail? Keep on breathing. What if I couldn't fail? Inhale. Exhale. What if I couldn't fail? What if I couldn't fail? Living with that question, living with what if I couldn't fail, changes how you trust yourself. Decisions become about alignment instead of the outcome. Your effort becomes an expression of care, not the proof of your worth. Mistakes turn into information instead of becoming your identity. Because what you do does not define who you are in that moment. Mistakes are real. Mistakes are information. This mindset doesn't say everything will be easy. It says you will handle what comes, if it comes. We stop worrying about things that are just not in our lives yet. And instead we worry about them when they appear. And then we will take care of them because we trust ourselves fully. People who live this way don't move faster, but they move with more clarity. They stop negotiating with fear all day long for things that are not even real, for things that are just in their minds. They stop shrinking their dreams to feel safe. They meet their life directly. So ask yourself, if failure stopped being the measure, what would become the measure instead? Is it clarity? Is it integrity? Growth? The truth? Again, place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Breathe. I move forward with trust. I meet life with openness. I choose direction over fear. Breathe into your hands deeply and fully. You don't need to become someone new. You just need to allow yourself to move as the person that you already are, with a new perspective. What if I couldn't fail? And that is where everything begins anew. Now, one last recommendation from me to you is to start every morning from now on with the question, what if today I couldn't fail? Start every decision with that one question. Okay, what if I couldn't fail choosing this? Start every moment of doubt with the question, what if I couldn't fail? And what if you couldn't fail? Coming back to this episode whenever you need it again, feel free to save it. And please also share it with someone who can benefit from this message, from this new perspective. And if you want to go even deeper, I have a beautiful program, Fearless, that is meant to help you approach your life with an entire different perspective of fearing less and going after what you really want. Thank you so much for listening today. I send you all my love and light, and I will be waiting here for you with new insights and new perspectives whenever you hit play again. One more thing before you head off. If you have any questions or you would like to get in touch, learn more and grow more, check out my website whoiam-official.com or send me a message at Heal with Jackie. You can find me on Instagram. I would absolutely love to get to know you and work with you. So, see you there.